Hey everybody out there, how's it going this evening? Or this morning, or whatever it is, wherever you are. So coming at you this afternoon, for me, with another corn cob, the Patriot here, and I've got it loaded up with Drew Estates meat pie. So that'll try something a little bit different today, so let me get this thing going, and we'll have a little bit of a chat. Excuse me, if I can keep my lighter going, that is. Let me find my tamper here. So again, this is my Patriot Missouri Meerschaum from aristocob.com. And again, it's that coloring that I like on there. TLBELKNAP, he got him, I believe it was a country gentleman that's almost black, which looks pretty cool. I was wondering if I could get maybe one with no finish, like a naked pipe. Maybe get me some paste, black shoe polish, rub it in there, and then put a little bit of buffing wheel on it or something like that. And I don't know whether that would work or not. Can't be too bad of an experiment. And if it ruins it, it's not too big of a loss. So anyway, again, the Great Dane with Drew Estate meat pie. If you watch my other videos, I had the Lane BCA and the Lane 1Q. Both of them, as you saw in there, if you watched, were okay. They weren't a bad smoke, but it just wasn't what I was expecting. Again, I'm coming from the cigar world, so I was just expecting a little bit more. But there, and with it's got to be the same way with pipe tobacco as it is with cigars. You'll get some cigars that are the exact same way. You know, a real light, mild, you know, Connecticut. Some Connecticut's are a lot milder than others. And then I'm just getting this one started. I can tell it is a little bit fuller bodied. Not full bodied, but more fuller body than what the other was. So we'll get it going and see how it is. And what I was, and I do the same thing on cigars. I won't give a final judgment on a cigar based on one cigar. I like to have an absolute minimum of 2, if not anywhere from 3 to 5, before I decide whether I'm going to throw the thing out. Sorry, I got just a little bit of tobacco in there. And so anyway, I got a ton of responses and suggestions. Thank you very much for everyone who's been commenting and sharing their suggestions. And on the on like a system or some way to organize, it looks like most people are just going by memory. And if they find one they like, it's like, okay, let me go buy this in, you know, bigger quantities in bulk, or, you know, multiple tins or whatever. And you know what? To me, that seems way too easy. You gotta have charts and graphs and, you know, PowerPoint presentations and spreadsheets, don't you? Anyway, that's just the way I do it. So we'll again, I'll come up with some system. I'm sure if nothing else, I'll just use like a spreadsheet or something like that, because I do want to keep a list of everything I've tried. And so thank you very much, TLBELKNAP, for that video response that you did. That was a lot of good information, and I like your system, how you go from the little, excuse me, the little baggies in your tin, and then move up to jars if you like them, and, you know, bigger jars, and et cetera, et cetera. So I like that system, the way of keeping them, the way of organizing them, and I plan on doing... Okay, guys, I'm having an issue keeping this guy going here. I got a really good draw on it, so I'm hoping my packing is okay. And it may be, I pulled this straight out of the tin, no drying or anything. It may be a little wet. And it may be that I'm not just paying enough attention to it. Trying to block some of that background light with my visor there. And so I plan on doing the same thing. Is I'm going to do like 1 ounce samples of everything. And you know, some of them, like the meat pie, I only saw in a tin. I didn't see bulk. Now maybe as I learn this process and figure it out, I'll find out maybe they do have this in bulk. And so again, this is a learning process. I'll figure it out as I go. But I figure I'll do everything in the smallest samples I can, like the 1 ounce samples. And figure out, you know, what I like, what I don't like, put it down in a spreadsheet or however I'm going to do it, and then, you know, then order whatever, a 4 ounce or order a whole tin. And I'm kind of like you, TLBELKNAP. Finances can be very tight, especially for me right now. And so I don't want to be, I can't be going spending, you know, 20, 30, 40, 100 bucks on tobacco. And so just buy a little bit at a time. It's the same way I did with cigars. And like you mentioned, that's the way I found my taste in cigars. I would try this, try that, and then I would start buying, you know, bigger quantities. I've had several people offer to send me, you know, samples of different things they think I might like, which thank you very much. I do appreciate that. And again, thanks everybody for all your comments and suggestions and replies and everything. That's been extremely helpful. I'm still amazed that everybody sits out there and, you know, uses up their time to watch a video of me learning how to smoke a pipe or learning about tobacco or listen to me just ramble on about, you know, who knows what. So I try to keep them, you know, somewhat short. Again, if you've watched any of my previous videos talking about my past, you know, I could ramble on to you guys for, it would be nothing for me to fill up an hour's worth of video. And so I try not to do that because you guys got other things to do. You got, like somebody said recently, you got the family and you got, you know, work. And sometimes you want to come home from work or whatever and you're done for the day. Maybe watch a couple of videos. I know sometimes I get started watching videos like, oh, I got to watch that one. Oh, I got to watch this one. Before you know it, 2 or 3 hours have passed up. But I like watching them. And so, and I figure I don't want to take up everybody's time. I want to let you guys have time to watch all your favorites and everything like that. So far on the meat pie, I've only been into it, you know, 7 or 8 minutes here. I'm trying to taste it like maybe I would a cigar. It is a fuller, again, fuller bodied. I wouldn't consider it a full body. Compared to a cigar, I wouldn't even consider it a medium body. It'd be a light body as compared to a cigar, but it's a lot fuller than what the BCA and the 1Q were. I'm getting a little bit of that tobacco flavor in there, which I do like. It's one of the things I look for on a cigar. Somewhere I can tell I'm smoking tobacco. I like the meat pie, I've got to say. I am liking this meat pie. And so, and again, I don't want, like I said with cigars, I don't know whether I ever finished that thought out about, you know, I try not to judge it on 1 or 2. I don't want to judge a pipe tobacco on 1 bowl or 2 bowls. So I may have a bowl, have 2 bowls, and decide whether I kind of like it or not. If I like it immediately, then I'll know, hey, we're good to go. If I don't like it or it's okay, I'm not sure about it, I may come back to it in a month. Put it down and then come back in a month and have, you know, 2 or 3 bowls in a month. and you know, see what we get after it's been. See if my tastes have changed any. My tastes probably aren't going to change a whole lot in a month's time. But it was like TLBELKNAP was saying, it might taste different as your diet changes. And he'd been cutting out a lot of sweets and things. And I know that is true, because, you know, sometimes in the morning, you know, I may want just a very light, very mild, you know, Connecticut shade, you know, cigar. If I've had a big dinner, steak and potato or something, I want something, you know, maybe a Maduro wrap or something a little bit fuller and a little bit stronger. So I'm sure the same thing happens with pipe tobacco. So anyway, I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. Just to fill you in with the Great Dane Cob, the Drew Estates Meat Pie, turning out very good so far. I'll finish this bowl out and we'll have some more. I've still got to try the plum cake. I've still got some Highland whiskey. I've got a few others to try. And we got I'm in a different park, a little bit closer to the house. And so there's a school bus that just drove by. Because we're about 2 blocks from a school. And so this is turning out very good. So I'll keep you guys updated. Again, thank you very much for all the responses, all the comments, all the suggestions, all the tips, and hints. And I will catch you all next time. Have a good one.